That's what I just guys, I am ready to get started. Stop. Okay. So what we're gonna do, because most of you know how to do things, you all get lost when it comes to finding the buttons on the calculator. So what I did is I wrote down steps on exactly what you need to do to find your minimum maximum. We are going to highlight the buttons that you're going to use on your calculator along with your steps. So your first step in solving these and finding your minimum or maximum is to type your equation into y equals. Okay, so you need to color or box with one color y equals. Okay, that's one of your buttons on your calculator.
Why is it 2?
Where do I find y equals on the calculator?
Top left.
Top left. Okay, your button for y equals is here. Okay. One thing that's very important before you plug it into y equals, and I want you to make note of that here. Equation must be equal to 0.
I'm not right. You said equation must be equal to 0?
Yes.
Okay.
Your equation must be equal to 0. You can't plug it in if it's equal to 4 or if it's equal to 7x. It must be equal to 0 before you can plug it in. Everybody good with that step?
What do you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean?
Your equation has to be equal to 0. Everything needs to be on one side of the equal sign. Okay, once you enter it into y equals, in order to see your picture, we have to use the graph button.
What are we coloring?
So number 1, equation needs
red
to equal to 0.
I'm asleep. I'm sorry. And see now I'm mad because it's crowns is working.
Where do I find your graph button on your calculator?
Beside trace.
Beside trace, top right. Your graph button is here.
Don't touch me.
Why are we coloring?
So that you know which order.
As you're doing the steps, that way you know where to find the buttons on your calculator.
So yellow.
So it doesn't matter what color you do. Your first button on your
Okay, what
calculator
you do?
is your y
Just
equals.
look at everybody in the room.
So you're gonna color y equals or
Yeah.
whatever you want to do.
Bro, I remember when Cam Newton hit that game winner 3, bro.
You want to pick a different color.
You say Cam Newton hit the game when it 30. You ain't know
So y equals on your calculator is here. So you're gonna color
But y'all
this
stop trying
to
to play
match
me on
this.
TV.
So as you're doing
Y'all
it,
really playing
you need to find where your buttons are. You have this page.
Kyrie fixed that game winner.
Because that's usually the biggest problem.
Kyrie
You
fixed
guys
that game winner.
know how to do this. You just have a hard time finding the buttons because you don't remember. Okay. Once you hit graph to view, okay, sometimes you may not be able to see your whole picture. So we're going to have to adjust it using the window button. So window is the next one.
Black, second quarter.
Where do I find window on my calculator?
Beside
We
y
jumped
equals.
out of a-
Right beside y equals is your window button. Right beside y equals is your window button.
How many buttons are we coloring?
Until we get to 9.
Where is that?
What you mean?
Okay. Your window button is right beside y equals.
I only got 7 colors.
All we need is 7 colors.
But we got 9 things.
I'm not a problem.
Uh-uh.
You got 4.
A lot of these are enter, enter, enter. We don't need to. Okay.
You like curry? What
Once
color-
you adjust it so you can see your entire picture, we need to calculate things. Okay, to get to your calculation screen, you want to hit the second button first. Where do I find second?
Right
The
there.
first button
So-
under
Alpha.
y equals.
Okay.
Beside mode.
Right underneath of y equals, right beside mode, right above alpha is your second button.
Alpha.
Okay.
I colored the wrong one. The wrong color.
Boy, it's not.
Listen, you don't need to color it the same color I do.
No, I didn't.
See, I colored right.
Wait, I got a question, Miss.
You a 10th grader can't color. God.
This might not be with it, but did the record?
What you mean, like 14? When you put it up?
At least I'm doing it right.
You shut up, my nigga T.
And that's
I did it.
yeah, you did. Brownish orange.
See,
That's
I can't color either.
Come on.
You
We
got
said
two.
one.
Listen.
On yours. Who said that? Don't go to sleep.
Wait.
Man. Go to sleep.
Red teacher.
And we gonna sleep. I'm trying to snitch on this. Today's snitch day. Yeah.
Do it look like I'm switching?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Here you go.
So,
Speak up.
what? Guys, individual conversations have got to stop. Button. You're gonna hit trace. Where do I find the trace button? Right beside where? Right beside graph or zoom. Either way.
Zoom zoom.
Okay. No, I picked a different color.
What's pretty?
I did pink and then red.
Can we do the same thing? Why do my colors all look the same to me?
Okay. Once you get to that calculation screen, you're going to see a ton of options. Okay. Option number 3 is if you need to find a minimum. Option number 4 is if you need to find a maximum. Okay. Once we do that, for this step, and this step. Where do I find enter?
Bro, that's too many damn colors. I can't keep up.
Bottom right.
You talking about when they kept saying enter and enter?
Yeah.
Shut up, boy.
Shut up, kid. Little kid.
I guess we only needed 6 colors. Not bad.
Question.
You had an extra Huh?
Question.
question?
Enter. Miss Smith, you lied. We only had 3 colors. We need 6 colors.
I just said that.
Boy, you just don't listen.
Okay.
Shut up.
Set those ones aside for now and get out your other ones.
I'll touch your hand.
Once we're done coloring, we're literally going to get calculators out and we're just going to practice.
Yay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Practice.
We still need the crayons.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're going to color code this one too.
Bro.
Ah.
Somebody's mad.
I got
That's
24.
doing too much.
Somebody's mad.
Listen, CJ, don't worry. Be happy.
Don't
Don't worry. Just be happy now.
Hey, I don't even know what that is. So.
Okay.
That don't sound
You're gonna notice this one is finding roots, zeros, or solutions. Okay, so we're trying to find where it crosses the x-axis. A lot of these steps are exactly the same.
at the
The
PS.
only part that changes is what you select once you get to your calculate screen. Instead of selecting minimum or maximum, you're always going to select 0. Okay, so we also need y equals in this one. Okay.
What color is that?
Whatever color you want. You do not have to follow my color scheme. Just make sure whatever you highlight on the directions, you color on your calculator the same to match.
Yeah, because I'm like.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I got a question. Why they look the same? Because it is.
When you grown freeze.
Okay. In this, your equation must also be equal to 0.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
You can never put in an equation that is not equal to 0.
Yeah, you can. What I said.
I accidentally already did it when I did the last one. I thought that was that one.
Oh my God.
Color scheme this one the same. It's gonna be the same. It's okay, CJ. You'll be okay.
I'll mix these rounds.
Okay, number 2, we still need to find the graph, so we need the graph button.
Meow.
If you can't see all of your graph, we're then going to use the window button to find the rest of your graph.
Oh my God.
What song is that?
They go hard.
That's a new bird.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna make the final exam project where y'all gotta come up with a song about one of the concepts we learned
Okay.
No,
We gonna be like,
and make a video, and we're gonna YouTube it.
Cause I got bars.
Okay. To actually find your 0, we need to hit the second button.
Oh yeah. Black and yellow, black and yellow.
No.
And then we need to hit trace to get your calculation screen.
I lied. La. My God.
Okay. And finally, the last button you need on your calculator is your enter button.
Why you do that?
They call him Lala.
Right. La. Loops.
Isn't that a Teletubby?
Yep.
You just like two different things. That's not a Teletubby.
Yes.
He said Lala.
Right. Pay attention.
What? Lala is a Teletubby. It's not.
It's not
It's like
actually. It's
Tinky
not like.
Winky, Lala.
I can say
Bad.
What's the other two?
Bro, I love that name. People weak.
You just say whoa.
I used to babysit kids. What do you want
You
me to
know,
say?
all little pickle. Little pickle wiggle.
It was between Teletubbies and Thomas the Train.
Or Little Rascal.
Or Chuggington.
We never did Chuggington.
Bro, that was the show.
You done with them? No, y'all want to know what was the slow lazy town.
That was that show.
I think that was a slow.
Oh yeah, Spartacus.